Alright guys, so we're moving on to the next step. So we have basically, where were we? So in the last video we looked at how to create a use hook, a use state hook right here. And if you hover the use state hook, you can see that there is a particular schema, okay, for that state. So this is basically the schema that the API will have in their backend to enable for them to create an API for you. So so this is important, and this is something that, for example, your backend guy will want to know, as far as like, what do you need the reminder to be? Do you need it to be a string? Do you need it to be a boolean? What value is going to accept? So this is kind of, you know, it's important to know this stuff, and it's nice that React actually spits back this kind of schema for us when we hover over the use state right here. It detects, based on what we added to it, that this is a number and this is a string and this is a boolean, and it basically just spits it back out to us, which is great. Okay, but that's just something else that I wanted to mention. So what do we have right now? So right now we're basically bringing the entire tasks object, which is that in here, from to the home page from this here, from the task right here. And then here we have the structure, what the task will look like in HTML, with all the props being passed into it. And so this is a constructor of that HTML, okay, inside of this map right here. But we're gonna construct this even further. We're gonna deconstruct this so that we can create a component for this particular li only, and then pass the li in here. So for that, what we're going to do is we're going to go to the home page right here, and new file, we're going to create a task JS, okay, and then for the task JS, so for that task JS, we're going to create this here, a new one, and we're gonna call it my task for now. So we're gonna save that, then we're gonna come over here and we're gonna do the following here. We're gonna make sure that it works, because just like I said, everything that you do, make sure that it works. Okay, we're gonna create that task. Then I could add it in here, but I have a reason that that's going to throw an error, because two siblings cannot be without a parent. So if I were to put that here, yeah, exactly. You see this whole entire red thing here? It's basically me telling you that these two siblings right here, these are considered sibling elements, an li and a task, they don't have a parent to enclose them together. So the best way to do that, to avoid that, is to put a fragment around it, and that will, alright, and that will take care of that. So now if I do this, I should see, yeah, my task repeated for as many times as this map found an li. So it's basically repeating everything that I put in here. Okay, so now what we want to do is, we want to make sure that we grab all of this stuff right here. So we just go ahead and copy that. Now we don't need this anymore, so you can get rid of this, because we don't have two siblings anymore. Now we have one parent. And go to this task right here, and then add it in here. Alright, there we go. I know you're saying, oh my god, this is not working, what the heck. Alright, no worries. This is going to break for a moment. Let's just go ahead and save everything, so that we have everything working. So so what we're doing right now basically is we're making sure that that this task right here is being inputted inside here, is being imported inside this task right here, but that it is able to bring back all that information inside of each. So each one of these objects will be basically a propped object. It will have props from all this props that you'll be sending through the construct that you're building in here. So the way we're going to do that is we're going to pass inside the task right here, we're going to pass a prop, and we're going to call it, for example, task, right? and then this task right here will be the one that you will be catching in the tasks in the task object. So now I am able to catch it there, and what I want to catch there is going to be the task item, this object right here that I am iterating over. So now I'm basically saying here, it's like, hey, on this UL right here, map through the task that I'm being importing here, right, from my app.js, from my, not app.js, from my home, from here. Map this this prop right here and make an object for it called task item, and create this object that I just created somewhere else, and attach the task item to it, to this prop. This prop has to be deployed. So if I hit enter right here, I'm still not quite there, because now this task item doesn't really quite exist yet until I come over here to the actual task here. And then you see this prop right here, that's the prop that I want to deploy out. So I'm going to control D that, and so I can select them all and hit task D as in day, and hit enter, and then it doesn't work. All right, let's figure out what happened. I love when things don't work. All right, what do we have here? So task item, it's mapping to the task item. All right, let's see if it's just a matter of refreshing. That's all it was. It was just a matter of refreshing. All right, so we do have a little problem still. So if I right click over here, we're gonna see that the key prop is still, it's because we left the key prop in here. So we have to remove that from there. I'm just gonna delete it. We're gonna remove it from there, and we're gonna add it to here, because the key prop needs to be wherever the map is. That's where the map, the key needs to be. So we're gonna make sure that we are now, what is it, task item, yep, task item that ID. And now if we refresh, there you go, we have no more errors right there, and everything here is exactly the way it was. So everything works fine, and yep, and all of this works right. So now, why did we do this? We did this because this is the part that you actually are iterating, but this is your template of the item that you're iterating. So let's say, for example, and you'll have this happen a lot, it's like your boss tells you, hey, I need you to add to my tasks here an author, right? Like someone who added it to it. It's like, okay, so now instead of coming over here to your iteration and then move and add it in there and move around all of the content that you're gonna have in there with all the programmatic code that you're gonna have in there, you can come over here and then just basically add it to it and say p tag, and then put it in there, and then put in there task, because that's the object that you're using, and then author, assuming that author is included in here, in your over here, right? So this is something that basically will be then included in your API. So technically your boss tells you, hey, guess what, our backend added author to the API, and we want you to add it to the front end as well. So assuming that they added author to it, so I'm gonna go ahead and put myself in there. So assuming that the API now contains a property called author, Bob Grimm, whoever that is, and let's say Jason Fisher. Wow, there you go. I'm trying to go fast. So assuming that now that property is available from the at the API, because your boss just told you that your backend developer added a new thing called author to your to the API, and that he'll like you to have it display on the page as well where the tasks are. You don't have to come over here and do it over here and start, pulling the prop and all that, and this will make all of this messy. You want to keep this as clean as possible because this is where you'll be doing a lot of programming. Instead, you go here to the template of each one of these, where you're declaring where things are going to be, and then you're now all you have to do is just basically make another call to that object in here and make sure that you're targeting the right one, and then when you hit enter, guess what, boom, it's there. Then you don't have to, everything is being added just fine to the I don't like the way that the p tag looks, so I'm going to do this and see what happens. It adds it to the end, so I am going to add a break line and see what happens. I like that better. There you go. Okay, all right, well, that's all I have for now. We're gonna move on to and get deeper into this on the next videos. Again, please subscribe and hit the bell or whatever, just so you can be notified. Subscribing is not whatever, it's whatever, but at least the bell, that one definitely, so so that way I'm not talking into an empty room. All right, see you in the next one.